Hi, this is Toni Wade, the Compassionate Investor, and today we're talking about how I have failed in business. Now, this first one is specifically around flipping properties. And as you probably have heard me say many times how I really am not a fan of flipping, and now you're going to find out why. See, and I had done a couple of deals, some little ones. I'd done some little flips, and I was like, hey, I'm sort of getting my little groove going. I felt a little good about my little momentum. I learned how to go into a property and pick out all of the things related to what needs to be done to property. I was able to go in and get a good contractor to go work and identify getting the bids. I had my 6 critical documents. Like, I was doing the thing and feeling sort of good, and I was ready to take myself to another level. So we were going from properties that were roughly $100,000 to now we're in a property that's like around $250,000 ARV. Like, to have $250,000 that we could potentially get on this deal, and I got in at $75,000, so I got it under contract. This is actually one of those times that I was gonna wholesale, and I was like, why would I wholesale this deal? Look at all this room I got to make. So I got it for $75,000, and it was in a really good area. Should I name the municipality or not? Let's just say I'm not gonna name it because I don't want anybody coming back and getting mad at the things I'm getting ready to say. So long story short, I'm in a particular municipality. I got a property under contract for $75,000 and the ARV is $250,000. My repairs were anywhere around, at best, maybe 50, maybe at most 75,000. I mean, that was like really rooter tooter, making this house like amazing. So even on an amazing side at 150, my profit should have been 100,000. So that was like, me and my husband, we got in a deal. We're like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We really gonna do that. Like, we getting ready to come up because this is the best flip we could ever see. So I get into the deal, and we hire a contractor. We go through all the rigmarole. I picked a really good contractor. We had the 3 bids, and when you're bidding and doing flips, you have a high number, you got the low number. I never go with the low. I chose the middle. So I had done all my due diligence, did everything together, everything looked wonderful. And as we got started in the deal, things weren't just going like I wanted them to. And I was like, wait a minute. And I was the GC, technically, making sure that everything happened right in the deal. And all of a sudden, things weren't working right. Things were coming, slowing the production down. We couldn't get this, couldn't get that. Long story short, I had to fire my contractor. Now, let me just tell you, once you fire your contractor in a deal, it's like starting over again. It's like the worst thing. So I'm trying to keep costs down and making sure we're only paying out draws as we need to. But once it started going sour, I was like, okay, we're not gonna do this. So I fired him. Now, the deals that we were doing required us to get a permit. So I was like, okay, cool. So I had all the paperwork that he created. Now, I'm just gonna say, he don't look like me. My contractor, doesn't look like me. Our complexion's not the same. Our gender's not the same. Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? But he had all of these designs and stuff that were snapped by a planner. As a matter of fact, the plan that he got approved, the same day he went in, almost looked like my son did it. It was like with crayons. But they approved it, stamped his thing, and he was approved. So I fired him. So to me, that seems simple. I'm just going to go and resubmit as me, because he submitted to the municipality as him. So because he was fired, those plans followed him. I had to resubmit. So here I am in my municipality, and I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and get a permit. I submitted to their planning department, their planner, and he looks at it and he says, well, ma'am, you're gonna need bloop, bloop, and bloop. I was like, really? Well, this is the one that he submitted. You guys checked it off. He's like, oh no, you're gonna have to get an architect. I was like, okay. So I went and found me an architect. The architect I picked was an amazing man. He looked just like me. I support Black-owned businesses because that's what we do. And he comes, an architect with credentials, with sealed documents. We submitted. And the planning board rejected what he submitted. And I was like, We went on and on in this thing for 6 months trying to get it approved with my architect, with our plans that were already approved already in this municipality by the contractor that didn't look like me. Long story short, I was in this deal. Y'all already know I was supposed to make $100,000 profit on this deal. How about by the time we got done with this deal, they had me replace all the windows because now the windows weren't compliant and I needed all new windows that he had approved before. They also said we had to re-pour the concrete in the driveway because now the driveway has too many cracks and you're gonna have to get that done. And all of these other things started adding up. And mind you, I had used hard money to do this deal because I didn't want to put all my money into this. So a year and a half later, I sold the property for a loss of $80,000. So, lessons learned. So I'm gonna say it. When I go into certain municipalities, I don't go in. I send somebody that looks like the contractor who went in the first time, who goes in and does my paperwork. So that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned in real estate as it relates to flipping properties. And I can say to this day, as much as the deals that I get coming across my plate, I'm still a little paused by that. It still digs at me a little bit when I think about that $80,000 loss because I should have made $100,000, but instead I had to pay $80,000 of all the money that I had gained in real estate toward this fail. But to this day, I can say I've learned a lot in how to move forward and move toward success. So if you liked what you just heard, please give me some comments. I don't know if you've had the same experiences that I have, being a person that might look like me, but please give comments and share because I'm excited about helping you get to the next level. And we'll be back in just a moment.